Hi. Hi. Oh, okay, cool, it works. Okay, so, hi guys, and привет to everybody else. Привет means hello. The reason, as you can guess from my accent, I'm from Ukraine, and there is another Russian word which you should need to know. It means da. You're gonna see it later. Okay. So just before I start, I'd like to establish some kind of a baseline. Who knows what mobile apps are? Okay, some of you go. Who knows what analytics is? Okay. Okay, I'm in the right place. Cool. Yeah, I'm Dmitry Klymenko. I trust you have seen this little slide from a couple presentations ago. So that's us, little family. We came from Ukraine, managed to find some snow in Australia, and now live in lovely London. Little bit of a history, a little bit about me.
Only the highlights.
Just the highlights of some populations. Probably something you don't really know. I think that is a woman. I'm not too sure about, but that's coming from a Trypillian culture, which was first discovered really close to the place where we live. But apparently that culture was spread out through the whole Eastern and Western Europe. And they're pretty funny people. They lived way before Egyptian pyramids were built. They have some kind of a civilization, and they also built some cities. But for some reason, every 60 years, they gathered around, set those cities on fire, and then did some dancing, and I guess they invented vodka. And yeah, last picture, that's actually key, very lovely city. I encourage you all to go and visit it, preferably in winter. That's when it's all little white. All right, so what's going to happen real soon? I'm going to be talking about why analytics, about personalization, how mobile app analytics is different from web analytics. App analytics platform, PI, or are we spying on customers?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, that was a spoiler, but yeah. And last year, a couple months, Google made a really big shift on how Google wants people to track customers, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about that. So why analytics? First of all, do you guys know who Stalin is? Joseph Stalin. That's okay. Do you know who Wolf Mason was? Okay, cool. It's almost like I'm home. Okay, so when about 100 years ago, there was one guy who had some mental abilities, or he likes to say so. He used to predict some future. It is known that he was talking to Hitler, and he ended up living in Soviet Union. But it's also kind of known, almost for a fact, there was some kind of a conversation between Stalin and heads of Soviet Union intelligence service. There are more than one. And the conversation was like, who is missing? Oh, well, that's a guy who says that he can say the future and do some other magical treats, and pretty much all intelligence services around the world are trying to catch him. And Stalin was like, is Soviet Union trying to catch him? Like, what are we not gonna do with him? Like, is Soviet Union trying to catch him? He's like, yeah, we're not trying to catch him. That's pretty much competitors do it. Why analytics? pretty much. So your role in some kind of a business, who is very close to running a business, like who know that software is there to make money, like who does it on a daily basis? Okay, so software is there to make money, right? No, I don't mean your salary. I do mean that take your customers and grab money from them. If your competitors are doing something and you don't, you're gonna be losers. You're gonna lose your customers because you're gonna be doing it worse than your competitors, and you're gonna lose the market. That's basically how it works. So competitors do it. That's really valid argument, but it's just the first one. Another thing is there are lots of free products over the last 5, maybe 10 years around, which just came to be. At first, that model worked as, okay, we're gonna get some free customers, non-paying customers, and just show them some advertising. Now the model has shifted to, we're gonna own our customers. We're gonna send them something they're gonna read, or we're gonna take their data and sell it. Pretty much the rule, if you are not paying for the product, you are the product. That's really working today. That's the truth. And little bit pragmatic thing is, if you know your analytics, if you have analytics which is correctly working, you can improve your product, you can make it better. You can make it easily accessible by customers, and you can force customers or offer them better, easier way to convert, which is in most cases lose their money. Business growth killers, that's pretty often when you giving people irrelevant content or wrong functionality, not what they want. If your design is terrible, if in order to pay you need to click more than one button, if your app or website is very slow, you're going to be losing customers. That's really killing great software. Again, the rule is, and I'm sure you're pretty much aware of that, people buy not what quality of software doesn't mean that it's going to be sold real good. It's how you sell the software. It's how you market really means it. There are lots of examples in software world, even between Microsoft and Apple. There was one episode in one of the movies, but the thing is, you don't need a great software to make a lot of money, to make more money than your competitors do. Marketing really decides how things are working.
In Microsoft's case, also antitrust. Just violating users is really good for that too.
I have no comment. Yeah. Oh, well, Microsoft versus Apple, Pirate of Silicon Valley and stuff like that. Yeah, that really happens. But if I say Microsoft wins, they're gonna kill me here. It's the wrong crowd for that. Anyway, yeah, Apple had his share, so that's good. You can't improve what you can't measure, right? That's why analytics exists. That's the sole reason. If you want to improve something in your app or on your website, you need to measure it. Otherwise, how can you improve? How can you be sure that you have actually improved that? For example, this one. That's pretty much what we have when we think about analytics. How much users we have, or how many sessions we have, right? This number. That's a big number. Who can say is it a good or bad number? No idea? Yeah, that's right. We don't know, because what's really important is how it has changed. Now so in analytics world, there are two types of people. One are squirrels, others are ninjas. So squirrels, they ask how many of those, how many of those, so what people are doing. People who really want to change something, they ask, has my user base increased or decreased, and if so, why? Why app users engage more or less this week, and things like that. Especially, yeah, when is the best time to push notifications targeting? Right, because you can send your notifications to users' mobile phone when they're extremely busy, they're gonna just ignore that. Or you can say it when they're having lunch and they're gonna read it, and that will make a massive difference. Same message, same text, same offering, same discount. Another really interesting thing I keep hearing, I apologize, I haven't told you what I'm doing. So I'm working for a company at Wollongong. We support enterprise clients with analytics. And I used to go into different organizations, join their team, understand what they want, and help them establish the right analytics, so a framework to get their insights, to get their data. And I kept hearing a lot of really interesting and funny things, especially from developers. You know how it works. Some big bosses in big enterprise companies, they make decision. Okay, guys, we need analytics. We need to start using it. We need to start embedding it into our software. And then it gets down to very busy developers, right? That's who you are. And then who likes embedding third-party libraries in their code base and be responsible if, say, it crashes or something? Like, when I was a developer, I used to take it into a separate process so that when it crashes, I don't care. But we can't do that with analytics. And I get a lot of very interesting resistance from from developers who really they don't want to do it. And I understand why this is happening. And essentially, I decided to come and give here a speech, so if by any chance I or anybody else comes to your organization, there will be a little bit less resistance. One of the interesting things is, like, I can develop my own analytics. Yes, you can. In 10 years, you're going to have something. I can create a site like Facebook, which is going to crash once you get 11 users or something like that. Many organizations, they still use their own analytics. So that is not real. This is just what's not happening. For analytics framework, we're talking about a lot of data, a lot of hits, which needs to be collected, presented in real time. That's a lot of work. So pretty much knowing how a solution can help you do what most paid enterprise analytics do. In general, how analytics works, pretty much all of the analytics solutions, they collect 4 types of metrics, which are audience, saying who your users are; acquisition, how they get to your software; behavior is what they've been doing; and conversion, if users who use your app actually did what you wanted them to do in the app. Every analytics product, every analytics solution is focused around these 4 groups of metrics. Content personalization, that's another funny one. If I remember correctly, in year 2000, I was doing content personalization on the website. And we did it, and the technology back there wasn't like it was now, but it is really hard, and it actually made things worse, because what we were doing, we were pushing content users likes to front, and users don't expect that content there. That time they expected the block of information they want in specific area of the page, and that's where they would click. And when the content runs around, because it's personalized for them, or changes or something like that, they get really confused. Personalization is really that's the future. That's why AI exists now. That's why Google replaces mobile first concept with AI first this year. But it's really hard because you're introducing something user is not familiar with. You introduce changes because of that personalization. Good example is say Netflix, right? So Netflix is one of the pioneers in this area. They heavily personalize their content. If you go to your Netflix account and move mouse or something, whatever, over new movie, there is a big chance you're gonna see a different preview. You're either gonna see a rolling like a trailer, or you're gonna see a different trailer, or you're just gonna see an image or a different image, and they keep testing it, and it's just happening on the background. Sometimes it's annoying. So back to non-developers world. So this is what BI, business intelligence, and marketing people operates with. Don't look at numbers; they don't make any sense. It's just a random image I took, but it's really great. Illustrates content of how those people who come to you and say, "Look, we need this analytic thing." This is what they care about. Some numbers, it looks great, and some stupid text behind it. And that's a sole decision for them. Okay, we need to do that analytics, we need to get developers busy. So I actually was on one of the conversations when mobile lead was trying to convince business intelligence group of people that they don't need analytics, and well, you can imagine how it went. But that's kind of how their brain operates. Another important thing about recommendations or personalization engine, which is direct descendant of analytics part, is a balance between value and customer and revenue. There are a lot of examples, and you can easily Google them, when Netflix really understands what customers want and offering that to customers, and customers didn't want it. They spent a lot of money on new releases. That's a really good example. So for some of the users, I think about 5 years ago, Netflix took analytics, which probably wasn't right, and what they did, they ran a little experiment, and for some users they offered highly expensive new releases, and they were really shocked to find out that users participating in an experiment, they actually choose to cancel Netflix account more often than users who do not. And that just was, very eye-opening for them. It's a real fact. So recommendation and personalization, it's hard, but it's really possible. But it takes a lot of efforts. Like it's not very easy. All right, I'll go real quick over some of the web analytics platforms. There are lots. Whenever you visit a website, there will be 5, 10, 15 different analytics solutions which are running in the background. Some of you would have ad blocker installed, and you would be cutting off, say, half of them, but another half would be working very successfully and still track you down. That just happened. That's why things exist. Different types. So market leader, what I believe is Google Analytics. IBM Coremetrics is like any IBM products is good. Okay, really quick. You delete some account from some. In or on how Google wants people to track customers, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about that. So why analytics? First of all, do you guys know who Stalin is? Joseph Stalin. That's, do you know who Wolf Mason was?
Yes.
Okay, cool. It's almost like I'm home. Okay, so when about 100 years ago,